His mistake into turn 1 at the Hungaroring just days ago was quite frankly one you'd expect from a rookie. However, it's not a one-off occurrence. Bottas simply struggles on rain-soaked tracks. The question is, will he take a gamble or pick the safe option? There's a huge difference between being a good racing driver and being a great one, and consistency is that difference, not just from circuit to circuit, but also in differing weather conditions. Lance Stroll, for example, if you exclude his start at last weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix, is usually an expert in wet races. Think back to his pole position at Turkey last year, or even way back to starting on the front row at the 2017 Italian Grand Prix after the Red Bulls suffered grid penalties. Stroll normally performs when it's wet, whilst Daniel Ricciardo quite often turns up on street circuits. The likes of Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, on the other hand, are world class in every imaginable circumstance. That's why they are right at the front of the field at almost every single Grand Prix. One man you can't say that about, however, is Valtteri Bottas, who can't seem to find form in the wet. His mistake into turn 1 at the Hungaroring just days ago was quite frankly one you'd expect from a rookie. In wet conditions heading into the sharp right-hander that is turn 1 in Hungary, Bottas gathered far too much speed, and unless you've been living under a rock, you know what happened next. However, it's not a one-off occurrence. Bottas simply struggles on rain-soaked tracks. The Finn is normally there to back up Hamilton in every race, and it's that partnership that has seen Mercedes win the Constructors' Championship every year since Bottas joined the team. But his lack of speed in wet conditions will worry Toto Wolff, who needs a second driver to perform every race with Red Bull looking so strong. George Russell versus Valtteri Bottas is the big talking point of the summer break, and it's a decision that Wolff has to make. Could Bottas' wet weather form swing things in Russell's favour? Before we go any further, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then please do so. Turn on notifications so you know when all our exciting summer content comes out, and like this video whilst you're at it. Let's get back to it. How bad is Bottas in the wet? Taking a look at 3 recent examples, it's clear that despite driving rally cars, Bottas can't get to grips with his Mercedes when it's raining. His start at last week's Hungarian Grand Prix wasn't good at all, and even if he'd managed to avoid Lando Norris into turn 1, he most likely would have exited the corner in 6th place, despite starting P2. Early this year, at Imola, Bottas qualified in 8th, and then on the wet Sunday he was running down in 10th before he was wiped out by Russell. However, to be fighting for the final points position with a Williams and the man who wants to take your seat isn't good enough when you're driving one of the top 2 cars on the grid. Another example, and perhaps the most damning, is the 2020 Turkish Grand Prix. On a wet track with new rubber, the circuit had barely any grip, and Bottas struggled more than most. He qualified down in P9 in the wet, and in the race he spun countless times, often with nobody near him. While Hamilton was securing his 10th victory of the season, Bottas finished a lowly 14th, over a lap down on his teammate. I'm not sure what it is, but Bottas needs to fix this issue, and fast, or Wolff will look elsewhere. Of course, the Mercedes team boss won't be too displeased that Bottas wiped out Sergio Perez and caused Max Verstappen to drive the rest of the race with half a car in Hungary, but it will be a worry if Bottas continues to drop points when it rains. On the other hand, one man who didn't drop points was George Russell. The Brit finally ended his point scoring drought for Williams as he secured a P8 finish after Sebastian Vettel's disqualification. Fortune certainly swung Russell's way, and with the saying, "You're only as good as your last race," things don't look good for Bottas. Furthermore, Russell's drive at the Sakir Grand Prix when he stepped in for Hamilton was exemplary, and Wolff will surely know that he can rely on the 2018 F2 champion. The question is, will he take a gamble or pick the safe option? Will Mercedes choose Russell? I'm sorry, but you'll have to wait and see what we think. If you want to know our opinion on who Mercedes will pick to drive alongside Hamilton in 2022, keep your eyes peeled for a video coming soon on our channel. But for today, that's all we've got time for. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Cameron Smith, and I'll catch you next time.